Welcome to our special broadcast as we are heading that is straight to Mbarara to check out that symposium, and of course that is aimed to unite the traders that is in Mbarara. It's been organized by Mbasita, that is Mbarara City Traders Association, and of course with the aim to create unity among us the traders and also create the possible networks among us within to promote trade within the city. And of course the guest of honor, Honorable Harriet Ntabas, that's the state Minister of Trade, is the guest of honor right there, and of course making sure that she will be presiding over the entire ceremony. And of course we anticipate the best, and as we are heading straight to have a review of what's really transpiring right there.
The city has an area coverage of 449 kilometers, and it is comprised of two
people. I will be just right there to ensure that they give a word as a way to make sure that they inspire the traders within. Remember, when the trade within the district blossoms, definitely that will spread all over the entire country of Uganda, and that will be something very remarkable and very reliable and realistic in terms of growth and development. Let's get there straight.
This one here. Okay, you are also most welcome. The population as of 2014 census was, we had 195,000 people. And it is projected to have reached now 30 at night, 30,000 at night. So the population now is growing at a high speed. The city has a well-constituted political structure headed by the city mayor, myself. There is a vibrant council chaired by the speaker. Our chief guest, our speaker, is seated next to you, Mr. Boneta Shobya Karusia, and is the chairman of all speakers in Uganda. Each of the two divisions, we have the division mayor. I think I have seen the deputy division mayor here for North, and I think of the South is also coming. And the council also headed by speaker. I have seen the speaker of Mbarara North is here. Then of South, I think they are coming also. The administration of the city is headed by the city town clerk, who is seated there, Mr. Asaf Fabreve. You can stand up. He is our city town clerk, and a number of technical staff that run the day-to-day activities of the city. Please, technical staff, can you stand up? Both at the city level and division level. Our chief guest, that is the team that is making all the efforts to make sure that our city grows at this high speed. It, however, suffices to know that the administration of the city is constrained by the inadequate personnel caused by the delay to have approved staff establishment to meet the expanded mandate from the municipality status to a city status. Mbarara City is the main one-stop center, not only for the Ankole region, but also southwestern Uganda. It's a major commercial and administrative destination for the region. We proudly host all the regional offices for central government administration. In the other aspect, we have got a potential service population of up to 7 million people, with a unique advantage of being the connecting center of the areas of northwestern Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and Democratic Republic of Congo. As part of our efforts to actualize our dream of becoming a one-stop commercial destination, the City Festival shall be an annual event which will showcase the city's acquired milestone we are building this. Actually, our chief guest, from 1st July 2020, when we became a city, for us as Mbarara leadership, we do not sleep. Our dream and our aim is that we should always lead and others follow us. And then we are starting this, and it has not started anywhere. If you have had any city that has organized this, Kasumba, tell me, apart from Kampala. And by the way, be careful, Kampala, we are taking you on. Our potential and shown to the world that Mbarara City is an investment destination. The attraction of investments shall not only create employment for our people, but shall create markets for the locally produced goods and services, bigger productivity. Actually, when we had the talent center recently, I was happy about the government's program of having even the service providers from our own people here. Those who cooked, the matoke they cooked, the meat we ate, everything came from here. And actually, you business community, you got a lot of money, now you have money. And therefore, you can even pay some taxes. Of course, as you have seen, Mbarara, for us, we do commercial, even commercial agriculture, like cattle grazing around, matoke plantation, and etc. We are determined to ensure orderly development, excellent service delivery, and systematic infrastructure development that meets the test of time. Therefore, we appeal for the support of all stakeholders and call upon people of goodwill to actively participate in all the city festival activities lined up. Please give us hand in the development effort of this great city, and we are open to your contributions at any time. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way I can say thank you to you for coming here and making our first step so much colorful. Clap for yourselves, you are wonderful. You know, when you are organizing, you can't know how something can come up. But Kazumba, don't you think really we deserve to be like Serena now? We are taking you on, I'm telling you. And you mentioned it yourself that when you came, you found a city well organized, out of garbage. That's what I have always been telling you. Out of garbage, he mentioned it. And he didn't know that the mayor was listening to him. We no longer have garbage. So let us work together to make sure that we create a city which will be admired by all people that will come to pass or sleep around. With all that I have said, I wish to end here and say you are most welcome, feel free, feel at home. I'm also here to listen and learn for God and my country. Thank you so much.
Your Worship the Mayor, please don't say feel at home, because some of us come from a city that has some disorganization, so we don't want to feel at home. We want to feel at Mbarara. Mayor mtero mungare zamani banamu. If you want to capture Kampala, you can go on and capture Kampala, but I can assure you will not capture Nakasero. So be very careful trying to capture Kampala because it includes Nakasero. But thank you so much. We'd like to continue by hearing an overview of Mbarara City Development Plan, and this one will be laid out by the accounting officer, the town clerk. Town clerk are in Kai? Usually they have suits. Even this one has one.
Honorable Minister and our chief guest today, the resident city commissioner, Honorable Amelia Chambade, and the senior presidential advisor, Haji Issa Sechito. We have always heard about you. You welcome to Mbarara on issues of Kasita. His Worship, the City Mayor, Honorable Speaker, and the Chairman of the Speakers of all the urban councils of Uganda, Honorable Bonnet Ashobya Karusia, members of City Executive Committee, members of Mbarara City Council, His Worships, the City Mayors, the City Speakers, Division Councillors, the Chairperson of Mbasita, Mbarara City Traders Association, the place where I think Mr. Kasumba falls. Members, I believe we are excited to see Kasumba live. Mr. Kasumba, you have a very big fan base in Mbarara, and these people are excited that they have been able to see you live. Although you look older than when you are seen on the TV, I don't know what happens there. But we warmly welcome you to Mbarara City. Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, you are welcome to this forum. We thank you. I also want to join His Worship, the City Mayor, to welcome you and to thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much. I've learned one thing now already from Mr. Samson Kasumba. He said that until my mother tells me that perhaps I have other names, but for now the names I know and what they call me, or even me, is Ase Aberebe Tumwesigire. Now, and I don't believe that my mother will ever tell me another name. I think those are the ones I should remain. I have a small clip because I just want to give an overview of Mbarara City, and I just want you to look at a small clip. Then I will summarize my presentation because the clip will have virtually summarized everything. So are we ready? Okay. Now, this Mbarara City, ladies and gentlemen, we have a vision. And this vision is to become an inclusive and sustainable city. I will go into the details of what that vision is, but basically that's what we want to be. We also have a mission, and this mission is to provide quality services through inclusive engagement for sustainable development. And this is one of the inclusive engagements we are talking about. We have objectives as a city. The first one is to contribute to the attainment of the National Development Plan 3. And that one is increasing household incomes, improving the quality of life through sustainable industrialization for inclusive growth, employment, and sustainable wealth creation. The other objective for which as Mbarara City we exist is to position Mbarara City as an industrial, tourism, transport, connectivity, investment destination, and a business hub so for southwestern Uganda region and the neighboring countries of DRC, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Congo. So for us, we want to be real implementers of the East African protocol. And the other one is to improve service delivery in education, health, sanitation, and water provision. The other one is to increase the quality and the quantity of Mbarara City economic infrastructure. Then also to develop Mbarara as a well-planned, green, socially inclusive, and resilient city. Now, what are our functions? Our functions, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, this is where you should hold us accountable as the leaders of Mbarara City. Of course, our functions are enshrined in the law, and in particular, the Local Government Act, CAP 243, and basically it is about the provision of social services in the form of education, health services, provision of infrastructure in the form of roads, production and marketing, community-based services, protection of the natural resources, trade, industry and local economic development, and general administration over the area. And when I talk about the general administration over the area, it also includes the security of the lives and your property. That's also part of our functions. Is the clip ready? Okay. Let's have the clip, then we shall proceed.
Mbarara City is believed to have picked its name from the local tall green grass, locally known as Mbarara, that covered the whole area. Its real commercial growth began with the appearance of the Asian traders, and by 1950, there were about 15 commercial premises. More commercial enterprises were set up between 1950 and 1960. In 1957, it was declared a township authority under the British administration at Kamkozi and elevated to a municipal status in 1974 and declared a city status on 1st July 2020. Mbarara City is 266 kilometers from Kampala City on Kampala-Kabale Road and is in the southwestern region of Uganda. Its exact location can be geographically determined as longitude 30 degrees 37 east and latitude 0 degrees 36 south. It generally lies at an average altitude of 1,432 meters above the sea level. One of the factors responsible for Mbarara's steady growth has no doubt been the fact that it is situated at the Kampala-Kabale-Fort Portal crossroads, good governance, and its nerve center of the numerous feeder roads linking up all parts of Ankole's huge territory. Being a conurbation of other towns in the western region and a gateway to the Great Lakes region, it has continued to grow from strength to strength because of its favorable location. The opening up of Rwanda and Congo has tripled Mbarara's logistical importance, for now the town is the facet to Kigali, Bujumbura, Tanzania, and several towns in the eastern Congo. The provisional population of Mbarara is around 195,013 people on an area of about 449 square kilometers. It is made up of different groups of people, and these include children, men, youth, women, the elderly, and people with disabilities. The ethnicity of Mbarara consists of Baganda, Bachiga, Batoro, Banyarwanda, Nubians, and other tribes.
Smart 24, driving business.
Bulu magic is my joy. Ono bulu magic wange. Ayo talaba kumabala atukuza nonyirirawo kirako enyange tayisa bubi fabriki kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa bulu magic is my choice. Ono bulu magic ye wange. Ambye bulu magic is my choice. Hey, ono bulu magic ye wange.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292 hash. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest. Smart 24, driving business.
It's fairly densely built with low and medium income houses, followed by commercial premises, especially in the central business district. And then high income housing and a series of industries have sprung up, thereby contributing to the settlement. Industrial development has played a high role in the development of Mbarara City through the creation of employment opportunities for the people, increase in both income and revenue for the government and the people at large, transforming the city's economy by making use of the agricultural raw materials and thus creating markets for the agricultural products and other benefits to the people of Mbarara. The achievements under the health sector are divided into infrastructure-related developments, curative services, prevention, and awareness. Under the preventive health services, awareness towards Keep Mbarara City Clean was muted, and this resulted in a mass acceptance of the privatization of garbage collection policy, which has greatly enhanced the cleanness of the city. The city education sector, whose enrollment stands at 30,000 pupils, distributed in 48.52 ratio of males to females, is manned by 768 teachers. Apart from intensified inspection of schools to achieve value for money on all projects, Inspection geared towards improvement of academic standards in public schools has been a focus. And because of this, so many universities have come up, both government and private universities. Construction is another key activity going on in Mbarara City, and a high percentage of 98% is done by people for their own facilities, mainly commercial, residential, and industrial premises. The few construction activities of Mbarara City authorities are being carried out on contract or tender basis. Agriculture is practiced on a very small scale where development has not started, and on land in the open space such as compounds and road reserves. This agriculture is in form of crop production and livestock, zero and free range grazing, poultry, rabbits, and so many others. It is for both commercial income generation and subsistence purposes. This is privately carried.
That summarizes actually what Mbarara City is. And I want to believe that even Mr. Samson Kasumba, who said that we are about to reach Kampala, you can also see that indeed we are about to be there. Therefore, I have a presentation, but now I will go to what we are looking at being in the next 10 years. Because the rest have been summarized in this video. The nice voice you are hearing is the voice of our senior communications officer, who is right away there. I think you should give her some, because I believe she's doing quite some good job. I hope Ms. Kasumba, you are not going to steal her away. Ladies and gentlemen, as Mbarara City, we feel that if we get an airport in Mbarara, given that we have this, we enjoy the proximity connecting between Rwanda, Burundi, northern Tanzania, DRC, Congo. We believe that Mbarara City, if it gets an airport, it will greatly boost the business here. And of course, given that the facilities are already in place, having a hotel like this one, and there are quite a number of them around here, we hope we shall have boosted this area. The other one is that the standard gauge railway is planned to pass via Mbarara City. And we hope that if that dream is realized, certainly it will have a greater impact. It will have a greater impact on Mbarara City. Then the other one is tourism. Tourism, as you know, Mbarara, we have a national park in our midst, which is the Kimboro National Park. We also gateway to Queen Elizabeth National Park. And of course, we also gateway to Mugahinga Gorilla National Park in Chisoro. So our aspiration is to become a tourism destination. The other one is the beautification of a city. You could have seen that we have started from the town center and we are expanding backwards. Of course, when you start in the morning, when you start washing, and ladies know much better, you put a lot of attention on the face. So we have started with the face, but of course we have also not forgotten the other parts. Mbarara City has around the area of 440, as they indicated, 449. But out of those, the ones which are fully built is about 100 square kilometers. That means we still have a lot of space to expand, and therefore we need to take advantage of this to ensure that we don't get another Kampala in Mbarara. So we want to make sure that we have a well-beautified city. We want to ensure that we have a well-planned city. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, government has extended a lot of support to us. And in one of the projects that have made a great impact in Mbarara City is Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development Program. We have so far had over 12 kilometers tarmacked in this city, and it has greatly changed. All these street lights you have seen, we have over 1,200 street lights, solar street lights in this city. If it is at the night, if you have been here at night, the whole town is lit. And actually our mayor is called Etara. Etara means light. That's why he came with that slogan and he has lived it to make sure that Mbarara is fully lit. So all of that is a courtesy of UCMID program. So we intended to do a lot of things in terms of beautification and environment. We have a great river in the midst of our city. That is the River Wizi. And actually that's where we are getting now all the water we are using. Of course, as you are aware, it is under threat due to environmental degradation here and there. But as a city, we are determined to ensure that this river is protected. And of course, protection of an environment. As you have seen, our vision, we want to be a green city. Mbarara as a region has very green soils, and we believe that every tree you put, just like any other crop, grows so fast. So we are seriously planting trees to ensure that we achieve the idea of being a green city. Lastly, dear participants and guests, is the issue of city housing and settlements, where we still have a challenge. The center of the city is characterized by the commercial structures, and of course, we still have also the old ones, which were built by the Indians. But also many of them have been replaced by the new flats, as you have seen. Like almost all the town center, there are very few buildings which are remaining. We are, however, mindful of the fact that we should also not completely erase the history of this area, because it would also be dangerous if our grandchildren come and cannot find what Mbarara was and they are only able to see it on video like you've seen. So we are looking at ensuring that some of these buildings are maintained in some areas, so that whoever is to live in the next 30 years is able to see that yes, at some point in the 1950s, in the 1960s, this was the plan and this is how people were building. The new areas, Honorable Minister, this city annexed 3 sub-counties in 2013 from Mbarara District local government. Now, majority of these areas are still available. As I had indicated, they are not developed, and we need a lot of resources to ensure that these areas are developed in a planned manner. We need industrial parks because we believe that if these cities to grow faster, we need industries in Mbarara. First of all, these industries will help us to create employment for our people, but they will also provide the market for the goods and the services we are able to provide in Mbarara. So we need a lot of land for the industrial parks. Of course, there are areas which are gazetted for that purpose, but unfortunately, the land is still in the hands of individuals. So we are negotiating and working with the government to ensure that we get the necessary resources to secure that land. There is also a plan by the city council, and actually which started a long time ago, but the city council has 165 hectares of land in the Kachera. And there is also a forest reserve here at the, is it Chera? Not Kachera, this one here. Yes, Chera Forest Reserve. And also there is another one here towards Ruti. We are also engaging the government to ensure that we exchange the other land, which is in Nyawushozi district, rather Chiruhura district, with this land which is in the city, so that we have a land for industrial parks. Local economic development, ladies and gentlemen, the people from Mbarara are hard-working people, and generally the people of Ankole, and I think we are #1 in Uganda, if not in East Africa. These people are hard-working. So in terms of local economic development, we are not doing badly. If we in this town, I want to believe that the banks are not complaining. At least there are people who are able to deposit money. There are even people who are able to fix money. But also the financial sector is doing well, and actually even the business in the city here is doing well. Mr. Secretary, actually here, we no longer need a lot from Kampala. If you want to buy a new car, you buy it from here. There are car bonds here. If you want a good hotel where to rest and relax, this is one of them. And we have many others. And many other places. If you want nightlife, these people who are still young know that in Mbarara people don't sleep. Yeah, it is only the old ones who sleep, but the young ones who still have blood don't sleep. And of course, the people for Ankole are receptive, and they actually good people. And when you are there, you're okay. Lastly, what I'm saying is in the presentation, but I'm trying to summarize. Lastly, a city cannot stand without revenue. We want to thank the business community for paying your taxes. We want to thank you so much. You have supported us greatly, and actually in Mbarara city, we don't really struggle with the people. When we put announcements, you people pay, they pay willingly, and we want to thank them. Really, they are very cooperative. And we want to thank you, Mbasita, for really leading a very cooperative group. We have not had any demonstration, we have not had any issues. And of course, as Mbarara city now, and as the accounting officer now, is about if these resources are collected, how best are they going to be used? Our assurance to you, business community, is that when you give us your taxes, we shall put them to good use. And one of them, like last year, the mayor didn't say it, Honorable Minister, this city was able to buy a motor grader on its own, using these people's money. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm mindful of the time. Thank you for giving me the attention.
The town clerk is very clear. If you want anything, it is in Mbarara. There is nothing else to pick from Kampala. If you want the presidential advice on trade, she is here. If you want NBS Live at 9, I am also here. So what is remaining in Kampala? I think the only thing remaining in Kampala is the president, isn't it? But sometimes he also passes here, who is represented here. We now want to hear from the Mbarara City Traders Association, Mbasita. We want to know what they are saying, what they've been doing. And as they do come to speak, I don't know if you know, but it is common knowledge that God made a few heads, a few good heads. Then on the rest, he added hair. Now you imagine your head without hair, what it would look like. It is never possible for somebody with a bad head to be bald-headed. God is very organized. You look at all bald-headed people. God knows that the head will be bald, so he shapes it properly. Now those that he knows will not look good without hair, he covers. That's why unless somebody just looks at some of us and cuts his hair, you can tell that that one was not by God. This one is a very good one.
Thank you so much, Samson. Our chief guest, the minister, the presidential advisor, the RCC, and all your security team, our city mayor, Itara, the city speaker, councillors present, our counterparts from Kasita, Haji Issa Sechito, banks present, authorities, URA and other agencies present, religious leaders present, invited guests, the business community, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by names of Mwizuka Simon says, and I'm the chairman, Mbasita. If anybody has just heard Mbasita, it is Mbarara City Traders Association. I would like to take this opportunity to first of all thank everybody for hearing this call and responding positively. When I'm always giving a speech, I usually mix the languages to reflect where I came from and where I am so far. This means that I cannot forget the Runyankore version and concentrate in the English, which makes me trying to pull off from where I came from, and it is actually bringing me closer to what I don't really understand very well, because at least I don't know why was it English chosen to be a national or an international official language. Konka nyenda kutwara mu kisogo okubakira mwe n'abashitamiraha nyenda ngona n'abatakura Runyankore bahurire ngo turi abanyankore bishita abo nchita kwenda kushanana na witu. Now, I'm the chairman of the concerned people, the business community. Those are the very concerned people. To me, it's what I think. And I would like to thank the previous speakers for putting in some juice for today. And today is the first activity marking the celebration of Mbarara city status. And we called it a business symposium. That is an English word, but in Runyankore, we call it ekiganiro ky'ebyobushubuzi hamwe n'abashubuzi. Nukwe tukyesere. And we actually had a theme for today. I'm not very good at writing and presenting. That's why I didn't write anything for the PowerPoint. But at least I can say something from my head. The theme for today was expanding business opportunities, business and investment opportunities in the new city. Business and investment opportunities in the new city. My next words may not be brief, may not be good, but they are going to be true. In December, I happened to go for a retreat to meet the President of the Republic of Uganda. I went together with the University Secretary of Bishop Stewart. I met there my counterpart from Kasita. But when we reached there at night, all the way from Kampala to Chobe, like a 9-hour drive, we sat in a room and we are talking about what we are going to present to the President tomorrow. We talked about very many issues. But those who were the leaders rather, were saying, if you to go and solve some of those issues locally. And I was asking, we have now met the bishop. Why are you taking us back to the Muburuzi? Let's tell the president what is happening. Why are you pushing us to see these things locally? But we wanted him to know the truth. So now I'm given an opportunity to talk about the overview of the business community. But the truth is this, the business community has got a lot of challenges, a lot of ups and downs. And as long as we have congregated here, we want us to know and share and see how best can we work on some of these issues. This congregation is seated here. We are celebrating Mbarara City, but the whole turning point is on business. If the business is not performing, we don't also have gotten money to stage something beautiful like this. If the business is not performing, Etahara would not have a good platform to lighten this city.
Smart 24, driving business. Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292 hash. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
Kigezi Highland Tea Factory is a processing plant of black tea located in Kisoro district in western part of Uganda, and the factory was commissioned in 2018, which has contributed to Uganda's economic growth after exportation of the processed black tea to Mombasa and the local market. With an effort to increase production, Uganda Development Corporation UDC collaborated with Kigezi Highland Tea Factory, and the plant was able to acquire processing equipments like generators, vehicles that now the plant can inject a sum of 240 million shillings a month to purchase green leaf, payment of wages and the like.
The factory makes black tea, black CTC tea, and it has a built capacity of about 35,000 kilos of green leaf per day. And on behalf of the board of directors, I would really like to thank UDC for the support they have given us to start the factory and the support they have given us over the years to keep us going. And we therefore are glad that now we are involved in this exercise where actually UDC has actually made it possible for us to happen. The tea we make here now is 100% for auction market, and therefore it helps the country to earn some foreign exchange, which I'm sure benefits the country. And we do feel therefore that we're making a contribution to Uganda, to Uganda's economic growth. Apart from just making the tea, we have a big program for supporting the local community. We support the local community, the outgrowers who have tea gardens. A lot of their tea at some point had been abandoned, so now we go there to give them support in terms of rehabilitation so that they can actually produce more green leaf from their gardens.
UDC's collaboration with Kigezi Highland Tea Factory has since December 2019 undertaken a drive to facilitate planting by outgrower farmers of an additional 10 million tea seedlings by farmers in areas adjacent to factories in Kibale and Kisoro.
Konga ku Rugenyima twatuguzaga bushenya majani transport eraba nyingi.
Previously, we used to sell our tea to Bushenyi, and the cost of transport was really high.
Mpira abantu binje mirimo, at least ndabashashura buri week.
But with the commissioning of the plant, many have benefited. That personally, I have employed many who I pay every after 2 weeks, and everyone is happy because they get paid in time.
Abwa support ya seedlings eziyatwerize.
I thank the government and UDC for the seedlings delivered, and request for more so that we plant on other dormant land pieces.
Kandi turashaba government okongera kutwereza ezindi mbibo.
In terms of employment, we're employing about, in this factory alone, we're employing about 80 employees. But that number sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down, because it just depends on how much leaf there is for processing. When there's a lot of leaf, that number could go higher. When there's less, that number will actually go down. To UDC, we can only say we're happy. We're happy for the support they have given us, and on behalf of the board of directors, like I said, we do hope they will continue to support us. As we stand today, we have not quite got the full capacity of our factory. And we are still hoping that with their support, we're going to maximize on what the farmers that are around here can give the factory, so that we operate the factory at full capacity. But since we started from the year 2018 to 2022, there has been significant progress.
Every week
I harvest 10 kilos, which can hardly be achieved anywhere. My children's fees are catered. I have managed a house.
Yes, we would like to congratulate Uganda upon their 60 years of independence.
Smart 24, driving business.
the revenues. Revenues are very okay. They are very good. And when we started this association, some of the people thought we are going to oppose revenues, licensing. But it's not like that. That is not my approach. Where it is applicable, my thinking is that we should always sit on a dialogue. And the town clerk knows we have been doing that. In the case of anything, we sit and talk about an issue. If it fails, then maybe we write to another office. So, the revenues are okay, and they are good, and actually advise all other business entities to look at that as a very important issue, much as we want the government also to look at how at least the revenue should not eat up our businesses. Let us work hand in hand. The revenue should stay because they are the ones that facilitate development. A few months ago, I have been receiving people from the central market. But sorry, renti, mitwari satu nyingi nyo, and I will seeing you people. We are attracting business and development in the city. When we start cutting those small costs, we're going to call them town, and you don't want to pay 30,000. Really? I'm a city. I was saying, if you're not thinking of Gambo Council, so I was saying, you come, we talk and see how we can manage the market to pick and do business so that you can raise your revenues. But if you know, where it is necessary, I can come in, but at least I first see how it is doing. When I come back to the traders, ourselves, Mbarara, turi ordinary naye kati abasuubuzi ekizibu kyendina naamwe nja kubabuulira mu nkyawe twefudde nnyo regular mu business eyo. We printed envelopes and I went to the RCC. I was telling him we want to go to the business community and we want to solicit for support towards the festival. We gave out envelopes as they do in church. But some of them, when we are going back, they were giving us envelopes without not even a single coin. Chukumi ngate chirimu. Ninkamba kweli. Musubuzi taina amuru kumi. Taina amuru kumi. But there are people who are giving us 100, 500, 50,000, like that. So if it was to stage something like this, we can do it willingly. I was asking the city planner that how many traders do we have in the city, do you think? Just a rough estimate. Put it on board and times 2,000 shillings, and you see how much money we would be having here. Just 2,000. Just a very business entity. And it was something like 480 million. Years, what is this? City Council. That is not how they do. The City Council has been here for how many years? Since 1974. You can't do without it. But this is our very own concern. If the business community, if the city is on a brighter space, investments come and we benefit. It is of our own benefit. It starts from the very people who are doing business before it goes to the what? To the city council. So, next year we are having a symposium like this. This thing is going to be annual. To FM. Abagezeke Dubai, these things are always there annually. And they put these things in budget. Oh, the festival is reaching. Let me bank the money for the festival. They do it earlier. Some traders were complaining of school fees. School fees is a long-term loan. My mother started paying school fees when I was like 1.5 or 2 years. Later, my guardian paid school fees to her, he picked me, and like other 10 years. So it's It's a long-term thing. We can't keep on complaining that school fees, katutadayo, tutadaba na kusomero, bonadayo, ngawadeke miezi ebiri agamba twasasura ekitundu, katugenda kuongera abana bateba bagoba. Bonadayo ngawadeke miezi 3 emirala, bagamba abana bagenda kumuranga ate bayina report. Katogo tetuna kitugenda okora. Because school fees is always there. Ibyo nabyo tukora iki? Tubirabemu, tubikendeze. Ibigambo byange rero si birungi. I'm coming to revenues with you RA people and the what. Now it is in Uganda where you start doing business. You concentrate and you make money and you struggle. When you become rich, they say you person. You guy, you have not been giving revenues very well. Let's back check you. You see the manager of URA is looking at me with a very big eye. Huh? They say, tuagara kunonyereza myaka 5 egiweddewo obadde oteeka yo temisolo gyo. What are you talking about? I have been concentrating. I have not been sleeping. I have made money. I have accumulated riches. Kakati mumagana nkole kitukole tufuka abaavu abatugagawale. So the back checking, they say myaka 5. Tukubare bwe tunasanga mu akantu. Zengambuza myaka 5 je mbadde mpereza yo lwaki muntu ekirawo ne mugamba katukode myaka 2 nga tosasula. It's not possible. That's why we are saying that we are requesting for change in policies. And why we are saying this, it's also the Indians and some other investors are also coming in, but they are receiving tax holidays. Why not free? Wanaya bantu ba bulichu. Nanzi bamantanisika business kangi. Pampeyo ka tax holiday ka mwaka gumu. So kinitirize. Echo nchirabe. Minister, we have a problem in business with the so-called investors. They come pretending that investors never fuka batembeyi. They buy stock, they put it at home, they put it in the box bodies. Door to door, door to door, door to door, door to door. Katamaduka are get stationed. They are not selling anything. Because the other people who are supposed to come from Isinjiro come and buy from me, who has a wholesale shop, has already been served, but the other Mutembeyi. We need to look into those policies. Business is dying because of such people. For the industries, that is the reason as to why we are here. As long as the Mbarara city is on a better status, we shall attract industries. Footsteps is already here, is also our partner. And under Mbasita, we attracted them to come and construct an industry in the industrial park here. They are coming, and I have already invited an Indian who is also assembling motorcycles that use electricity, they don't use fuel, to also come, and we are making arrangements, he's purchasing land to come and do that. If all these things are at a normal parameter, then investors can come. The city will grow. For the banks, I thank you so much for supporting us. Naina mumetunuremu, waro binje bitari birungi, nabyo bitukosiza, engeri mtu wa musente, okuzimpa, ozimpanga birukurase nyingi. Naye ngo okugenda okuzinsaba. Oleta amanyi mangi nnyo. And you don't want even to hear what I'm saying in case I fail to bring your what. I don't want to go so far. Samson Kasumba is coming here. But I would like to thank everybody for participating in this business, for participating in celebrating Mbarara City, and this is the first day of celebration. The next day we must celebrate, and the coming day, but because of time, I would like to thank you, Samson, for giving me this opportunity to talk to these people. I would like to thank the city management and the city, the councillors, all the stakeholders for coming up to show up in this arrangement. We thank you so much for God and my country. Steel and tube industries are also here.
also is God's Will Hardware. I like the name of this organization, Creative Media, and also Bishop Stewart University. They are also here among other organizations. This good friend of mine invited me a very, very long time ago. I think it is probably over a year. And they've been checking on me, Kasumba, are you coming? Are you coming? And I'm glad I am finally here. I've already told people in Kampala that I'm still debating whether to come back or not. I might not go back. I'm still looking for a reason to go back to Kampala. If you have the program, ignore that and concentrate on the one I have here. Because your program is saying something else. Your program says break a T. The one I have says another speech. We will go with mine. By power of authority entrusted to me, all in favor say aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it. You see, that is how politics is run and managed. We do have 2 guest speakers who are going to be very brief. I'm going to give them 5 minutes each, probably less, and they are both from Kampala. Sorry? Okay, not 5. Okay. Let me do something here. If you want more than 5 minutes, you are going to purchase seat. I want to contribute to Mbasita, and I brought some things here. Me, I don't want people to give me money and they go away free. 10,000 shillings each. Who has 10,000? I give them something. 10,000. Umtwar. Yes. Minister, how many can I give you? 15, 20, 30? Sorry? You bring 10, you get to know what it is. Here it has what we printed on. Welcome home, Mbarara City, Mbarara City. Lovely. 10,000 shillings. You take 1 for 10. Minister, can I bring 20, 25, 30? 5 for a start. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 for a start. 5 for a start. Who wants more? 5 for a start. I first pick the money, then hand over the things. How many can I give you? 25? 5. Another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The white ones are also there. They are 11,000 shillings. They are white ones for 11,000. Sorry? 5 of the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white. That is 55,000. Sorry? I'm in Uganda, no change. Sorry? Sorry? I put the 5. Yes. So I owe you 45,000. Yes. You get some more white for mommy, Carly. Okay. Anybody wants to change? No change. Somebody else who wants. Okay, who doesn't have 10,000 shillings to give me? Who doesn't have? You put up your hand and said, I don't have 10,000, so I know who not to see. Okay. Mr. Sechito, you said you wanted more time. Give me 100,000 shillings, you'll have 10 minutes. Yes. We shall bargain after. So I first give you my time, then we bargain on money. Kumuntu we Kampala. Kampala, we deal with cash. If there is no cash, to kuva mchibok. Mr. Sechito, come and speak. Mr. Sechito is coming. Let me first remove my money. Bano bagala sente mbamanyi.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest, who happens to be my boss in Kampala as the Minister of State for Trade, Honorable Amelia, who is to be the tip boss of mine at the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, now Presidential Advisor. I'm very ordinary. And therefore, I don't want to go into much protocols. All dignitaries here present, I recognize you all. My name is Issa Sechito. You know we have an issue with the time here. I'm the speaker for Kasita, Uganda. I'm the Director for Trade and Commerce at the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, PSFU, representing trade. I'm the Director for Comesa Business Council, representing Uganda. I'm the Registrar, Government Registrar Representative Uganda, and an international ISO certifying company. I am a farmer and a practical trader. When farming, I deal in bees, and therefore I harvest honey. I'm proud to be in the home of milk and honey, Mbarara. Chairman told me to look around for opportunities of growing the seat of Mbarara and screens through the opportunities that opened up when we became a city. From the first speaker to myself now, I have automatically changed the program of what I was supposed to present. Because the nature of the head decides which hair to cut. I cannot be bald-headed because my head, like Kasumba said, is not a very good structure. And therefore, that's why I have hair on it. If it was good, I'll be bald. And he said from God. So ladies and gentlemen, all of the people here, all the opportunities that Uganda has, all the endowment that we do cherish, there is very little that opens up for you, whether state status, municipality, town, for as long as you don't open up for yourself. We shall not all be at the leadership at the top of the city. We shall not become mayors or even Lord Mayors. We shall remain people in our own businesses and categories. And therefore, to tap into the city and the large and the more and new coming opportunities, there are things that are a must do for us to be able to achieve anything, whether
Smart 24, driving business.
Luxury redefined at Seasand Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full-course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasand Hotel. So visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasand Hotels, luxury redefined.
Transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Smart 24, driving business.
You are in a town, you are in a city, more so in a city, the demands are high, but the investment in a country like Uganda is very, very likely or unlikely to grow for as long as we don't improve on our saving culture. When you tell a Ugandan to save, they'll talk about the cooperative banker that failed. Tell a Ugandan to save, they'll talk about a cooperative that failed. Why don't you also talk about the centenary that has survived? Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Mbarara city. The chairman was talking about a number of issues. You, who is in Mbarara, who is not happy with the power of cooperation and unity, you must be ready, ladies and gentlemen, to learn to associate wherever you are. In Kampala, we have people who have been there for ages. They have not even bought a piece of plot. There are those that have come from scrap like myself, and I will not say I'm a poor man up to today. The magic is very simple. Where you are working, you are 10 people. And it is a church, it is a farm, it's a municipality, it is a city, and you have neighbors. Even when Jesus wakes up, your earning for a month will be 500,000. If you combine in a group of 10 to save money for the 10 people, you are going to earn 500,000 times 10, and it becomes 5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, a person having 500,000 shillings according to the law of effective demand can never think the same as the person owning 5 million shillings. It therefore means that you need people around you not only for parting issues, but also for entrusting and choosing people with whom you share ideology, so that you can be helped to get money increased through the unity and partnerships around you, so that you can be able. You don't belong to the royal family, you don't have land. You don't have cows because you do not have them. But you have a meager income with which you can share with your neighbor, so that it shapes your effective demand. Basebo ne banyabo. E Kampala batugamba nti teri mugagga musiru. Banyabo ne basebo, ladies and gentlemen, abagagga abasiru gye tuli. Enjawulo nti mwe mutupulaningira kubanga sente ze zisalawo kyenziramu okkola. Gwe mbulira anajja ewuwo ng'amanyi tolina kabiina mwoli nti onofunayo $5,000,000 n'akubulira nti kapoloti akalinaanye bakatunda. Who will come to you? Therefore you plan nondaga awaja supermarket, you plan nondaga awabala emmere, kubanga okitegedde nti at the end of the month ninayo $5,000,000 ze ngenda okuwangula mu kabiina kange. Therefore ekibuga kizze naye sente ogenda kusigala ng'ofuna ntono mu Jjinja, mu Mbarara, ogenda kufitingamu otya okule n'ekibuga nga teweeyambisizza mukisa kugaziya bwongo obwo, tewali kigaziya bwongo bwa mukozi wa mirimu okuggyako sente z'akuŋŋaanyiza. Don't expect Jesus to give you the money. Your work will give you the money. Ladies and gentlemen, atamanyi gy'alaga tabula. Bw'oba manyi gy'olaga lw'obula. Era bw'omala okumanya gy'olaga n'obula, obuuza abantu nti bwe bagamba Kalukyo senta y'Embarara eririddawa. Bw'oba abadde oyiseewo n'otuuka mu tawuni nga bakulagirira. Bw'omala okumanya nti osevinga ka sente, nti weegasse ne banno mulina kye mukola, then wake up and declare what you want. What is it that you want? Some people are cursing God. Ne Mukama, nze n'akamotoka akatono ne kabula, wafukamira ddi n'omusaba ky'oyagala. Mumanye kye mwagala ate mukyatule kumpi buli mwaka. Wake up and tell your wife, wake up and tell your children that this year we want a 40 feet or a 40-inch or 50-inch TV by the end of December. They will hold you liable. While November is approaching, you will go and meet them all connived. To remind you of what you promised to them, you were a liar. Because you don't want to be a liar, you will strive to get the TV to them. What does this mean? This means when you have an intention, don't feel it on you. It will die with you because nobody is judging you whether you have performed or not. Declare your intentions to your comrades. This year I want a Land Cruiser TX. When you had an Ipsum, tell one of your colleagues that will remind you to fit in Mbarara City with a TX other than an Ipsum. Not that the Ipsum is low or is bad, but what is it that God has not given you? Now you are cursing God. Last year you did not achieve. What is it that you did not achieve, yet you are healthy? Haven't you seen people have lost their legs through amputation? Haven't you seen my chairman, Mr. Everest Kayondo, who is one of the mentors of Mbasita, die because of COVID? Are you not healthy? So what is it that God has not given you? God has not given you what you laid down, declared, and announced. And that's your destination for that period. So you have reason to go back and ask God for the TX that you want for that year. And that's your target for then. If you do not have a target, you are moving without a destination, and you will never know that you have gotten lost. Mr. Chairman, when two poor people meet to share poverty, that is a curse. If the same poor people meet to share the small that each has, that is a blessing. Did you understand what I'm saying? Abantu babiri bwe musisinkana mugabana obwavu mukaba maziga ekyo kikolimu. Mwe abantu babiri mwennyini bwe musisinkana buli omu aleete kaleeta, egyo mikisa gya Katonda. Bwe twali tugenda mu East African Community, Honorable Mary akimanyi, buli omu yaleeta kyaleeta ku mmeeza. Atalina kye yaleeta, buli kiseera abeera mu maziga. Noonya kikyogenda okuleeta. Ate bw'oba okironda, sinzira ku nsonga endala gye njagala obbagamba, bagita comparative and competitive advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, mbeera ntya Embarara gye balunda enjuki? Mbeera ntya Embarara awali omugga Louise? Mbeera ntya Embarara we balunda ente? Mbeera ntya Embarara awali omuddo ogwa kiragala? Mbeera ntya Embarara nennemu okwezuula obwongo bwange kye busobola, nange ne mbagamba nti bankolimira. Bwe batakolimiridde n'okola ki? I am a very good example of of a Ugandan citizen who came to Kampala with a small bicycle to join Kampala High School with a small mattress, who cannot easily identify what I own today, and I have not stolen any. What I appreciated is I needed to define what I want. 2, I needed to know who are the influential people to do it for me to push my dream. 3, I needed to know how to join Mbasita. For that time it was Kasita. I needed to know how do I save the little money that I get from my car shop, so that at the end of the month, whether 1 year or 2 years, I am standing with a bigger check that improves my thinking capacities in as far as business is concerned. And what did that mean? The chairman was crying here, almost shedding tears. Mr. Chairman, don't shed tears. Those traders are stubborn. The few that you have in Mbasita, move with those. Learn the tactics of improving their incomes. Tell them to be firm. Tell them to pay taxes. Tell them to register 14 numbers. Tell them to be compliant with UNBS. Operations that will happen in Mbarara will leave them scot-free, and they will all come to ask you which magic you are committing. At the end of the day, those that did not give you the money, whether Indians, Chinese, or local people, will come running to give you millions when they refuse to give you contributory money for the few thousands that you are asking for. There is no magic around it. Just be straight. Tell them what is right. Let them listen to the government and the agencies that government has put. Where you are being pressed by the institutions, we learned of 2 things as I was starting. 1 is obligation. The second, right. If you are stepping upon my rights as a revenue collector, I would say no, thank you. I'll call the commissioner, and it will be solved. This means they will not come to you, Mr. Chairman, and teach you in your house. You will need to combine. Be together. Hardware dealers, market dealers, chicken farmers, revenue authority, UNBS, and everybody will come to tell you what is missing in your egg. Honorable Minister, I always cry. When I go to Nairobi, when I go to Zambia, when you ask for an egg, it has a yellow yolk. Come to Kampala, people will say Kenya is refusing our eggs. The concentrate that makes the egg yellow, the Ugandans do not want to apply it. They will disturb you that Kenya is refusing our egg, yet they are the ones who are not using the good nutrients that make the yellow yolk. So as you combine, Mr. Chairman, ask the mayor to remove the street vendors. Don't lament, because it's your right, as we said. If the bank is not opening the small letters at the end of the contract, tell them, Honorable Mutebile, before he died, told us it is legally mandated by the bank to give you a loan facility after educating you what it means. It's illegal. You're not appealing. It depends on your... No, you don't need to know everything. He needs to teach you everything. In your local language, if he doesn't have, let them get interpreters so that you are signing for a loan while you are aware of the implications about it. The smaller letters you ignore will take your collateral away. Ladies and gentlemen, as I want to conclude because of the smaller time, Be honest. Be honest. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a God-fearing country. For God and my country. My first million, Honorable Minister, I was living in a shop that had no Mbarara proofs. We would put the items in the day, remove them, take them to Edema, the stores. I looked at the people around me, they are all rich. I said, what can I do? I bought boxes from Stanley St. Peter. Very good radios, but they were empty boxes. Spoiled headphones, very nice looking. I displayed. And everybody looking through the mirror thought this is wonderful. So I would talk to you. You point at it. I leave someone here, I run like I'm a marathonist. By the time I come back to you, I have the radio gotten from Stanley St. Peter. I sell it 250, yet he gave it at 200. I make a kill of 50,000. There and then I run to take back the 200 so that I don't think it's part of my income to increase my effective demand. The effective demand in that transaction is only 50,000. If you sleep with that money, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to the bar, the first bottle is commanded by you. The second also by you. The third and the fourth is because of the excitement on you. And by tomorrow you are dodging St. Peter, the source of the radio, because you did not return the money. People are not going to be successful if you are not honest in Mbarara City. Don't look for opportunities where they already are. Just be honest, the rich people will trust you. Among us, this class here, there is a person who comes and says, I need $100. $100. Can I pay it on Wednesday? Everybody at the place will look at you scot-free. There is a person who will say, can I give me $500? I meet it in town. And everybody would be willing to give it. Character is with you. Don't ask a government for too much. Government also has problems. We are all borrowers. Government is borrowing. We are also borrowing. So you kneel before government to lend you what? I am a professional accountant. I have never filled a form to ask for a job. You know why? I saw we are so many without jobs. Yet my father had a small plantation. I went back, I failed to do my first examination and HSC, Caltech Academy Makerere, with Brother Chemwa. You know why? I failed to raise the money to register. My dad was in sports and that was his hobby. It is his money. I wouldn't curse him. When I went back, I skipped a year. I told my brother, who is still living, to lend me money for the pesticide. To also show me where I can plow and get a misirieviri ejenyanya. This is a live example, Honorable Minister. Mwami sechitu, nandaga wemba nsimbe nyanya. Nampole eddagala emikebe ena. Nampe enkumbi ne jambia. Mumusana, nenga waliwo amazzi agakulukuta. Nentema gasiya. Nembika ekisubi. Nensiba mu nnimiro. Bannange nga balinda enkuba etonye ng'ennyaanya zange zimera. Nakutulamu emisiri ebiri, Honorable Minister, bamunaanika, it's a true story. Nenfuuyira ennyaanya zigenda okutandika okunyukamyukamu nga bazigula bansanga mu nnimiro. Mukulu wange yasalawo ani anaafuna leero. Eziroobwe, ew'obulenzi, ebamunaanika, ekikyusa, ekalagala, agakatonda mugulu nga bonna bazirinda. Nanogako omuziri gumu ne mugamba ogusigadde ngukuwadde. Nze ngenze Kampala. Naddayo n'eggaali mpya n'omufaliso mupya nende registaringa n'entula senior 6 omwaka ogwaddako. Naye omugalwizi gutuyitamu mbuninda musana ukwe atalina capital, atali mulangiramu olina ettaka. Chairman, twazze obugambo obwo obutono bwenkugamba tuggule abantu bano emitwe. Obugagga tebwazze na city status, obugagga bwazze na mitwe gyaffe abali mu kibuga. The day we shall change our attitude is the day we shall become rich and be sustainably living in the city. Don't fight with the mayor. You only fight with the mayor for rights. The obligation is he knows. You are only fighting for the rights. The rest is for you to manage. Mr. Kasumba, I have 10 reasons why people should be successful. I have only mentioned 4, and I have no right to remain with the microphone when my time is up. I honorably present my presentation to the chairman. Find the time in the near future. Allow me to come. Sit your people down when we are not celebrating the city status. I go through one by one reasons why some people in Kampala are successful and why others are not. Why are the people without much education more rich than those without it? I know the reasons. Because I'm in the middle. I'm not so studied and I'm not ignorant. A person with a diploma from the MOOBs, by then it was National Business of in Nakawa. If I make a presentation, it is so updated that I can match with anybody because I learned slowly what it takes to be successful. And anybody here can be successful. I end with this. You just allow me 1 minute to end with this. Basebo ni banyabo. Government erina kalenda ya etandika nga lumu July. Omwaka gwayo gugwako nga 3 June. Siwe kiri eggwanga lyonna lirina omwaka gwalyo gutandika nga lumu January. Mbadde nsaba olwaleero nga 10 buli muntu yenna yaze mu ruumu eno twekolere kalenda yaffe okuva nga 10 ogwokubiri. Tugulewo akasawo oba olina wojja oba tolina. Wakiri tuli kasanga nga kakulu nga kereere nga 10 ogwokubiri omwaka ogujja tukebere sente eziribaamu. Be honest, tokagula. Bw'owulira ofa wakiri weewole n'ekyotadde mugamba. Omusajja wa Kasiita yagamba emiliyoni ye gye yasooka okufuna yagiteresa mwami Richard Kato na kati waali atusuubula masimu nga nnoonya okukwata ku miliyoni eganyi mu Kampala ne mugamba ne bwe mbanga nfa tompa sente zino okutuusa nga ziweza akakadde. Wallahi, I'm a Muslim. Thumma wallahi, okuva le nakwata akakadde ako siddanga mu kubeera nga siweza bukadde 10. It's a true success story that I came to tell you. Ntimba saba tweggulirawo omwaka gwaffe eyazze wano yekka. Oba oli mugagga genda na banka ogigambe gulawo fixed deposit. Nja kuleeteranga sente ze nabanga nsobodde buli lunaku okutuuka nga 10 ogwokubiri 2024. Abali gula obubokisi obwo buli omu agenda kukola kike ng'asinziira ku effective demand. Esente z'ofuna ze zikutuma ky'onookola. Mukama bankuumire.
Smart Smart 24, driving business. Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292 hash. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest. Smart 24, driving business.
Bya birala tugenda kwesortinga. Era bemitwalo omusajja alina emitwalo. Nze siina change nina butambaala. Mbarara okawo osobola okukwata ssente n'ozirekawo ne zibeerawo. Try that in Kampala. Mr. Sechito, thank you very much for your conversation. It's amazing how brains work. Nze nasoma theology to study the Bible, interpret it for other people, read biblical Greek and teach it, read biblical Hebrew and teach it. Nenve Bungereze eyo nengenda okusomesa gye nasomesa. I questioned the dogma ne bangoba. Waliwo abasoma journalism ne mass communication tebalina mirimu. I have been employed for 10 years without any training in journalism. It is what you do with your head. It is what you do what? With your head. People call me a journalist, I'm a theologian. Working with journalists, but very efficient in the job people studied and don't have. Very efficient in what? In the job people studied and kanange mbawe ya kalala. You have cheated yourself when you studied accounts and auditing, and that is what you do, but you are broke. Eriyo omuntu ng'omulimu gwe auditor, era nga ku mulimu very good auditor, naye nga mu bulamu bwe finances ze nfu. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a special presidential advisor on trade. Waliwo enjawulo wakati wa presidential advisor ne ba special. Ono ki? Senior. Special.
All these are very powerful speakers. My sister, Honorable Minister of State, the Chief Guest of Trade, leaders of Mbarara municipality, I mean city, sorry, officials from Kasita, Mbasita, CEOs from different organizations, CEO from different agencies, members of the private sector, all protocol observed. Amelia Chambade, And I'm a granddaughter of great leaders. One leader was from here, Mbarara, Christopher Kafurika, who was a Maluka chief, a Gombola chief, a strong member of DP. And another leader is Sarah Nowofunia Kuruvia, who was a deputy speaker of parliament, who was a mayor, first black mayor of Kampala, who was also a minister of finance in Buganda government. There are very few people like that. So I was born in families of leadership. So I mentioned that because Mbarara is a special place for me as well. I started working in public sector. I mean in public service in 1979, working for, he used to be called Honorable Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Little did I know that he would become a president. And he was working in Ministry of Defense. He identified me and he mentored me into leadership. And I'm proud to be standing here addressing you because of the great mentorship I got from this great leader. I worked for him and was a member of UPM, went into exile in Sweden, formed an external branch for NRA at that time when they were in the field, in the bush, came back and worked in ministry, in State House, and rose in levels until the principal private secretary. But during that time, I was going back to school. I did my first degree. I did my second degree in business. And I must say that I, because of the mentorship, I was one of the best performing PPSs in this country. And I pride in that. I decided to go into politics. Because of the mentorship, I realized that as much as we're budgeting for this money, it was not trickling down the grassroots. I offered myself to go into politics. And I was elected as an MP for 10 years. And I performed. I pride in that as well. I worked as a Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives for 10 years. So I'm proud to have served my country. I'm proud to be standing here as one of the leaders. Now, I'm an advisor to the President in industry. Let me talk about Mbarara, standing here and celebrating Mbarara city status is a big achievement, as highlighted by the mayor, highlighted by that's another speaker, a town clerk. So I had put down some points about Mbarara, but I feel I'm not an authority, so I need not go into that. I want to thank Mbasita, Mr. Sezi. I met Mr. Sezi at one of the workshops in Kampala. He listened to me and he appreciated my talk and invited me to be one of the speakers. And thank you so much for organizing this forum. The people of Mbarara, this is an achievement for you, to have an organization that is going to be a voice for you, a tool to be able to do business successfully. An instrument, a voice to shout out for you the challenges you have, an organized body. That is an achievement, but I must thank Kasita that it emanated from you. Thank you for being an example. I always listen to these radios and I listen to the talk shows. And I hear these young people saying, government ekozechi, etufunidechi, etukoledechi. You forget that you are all beneficiaries of government. Kyonna kye tutambuliramu government yekikola. No other. You forget that even the radios where they're making noise from, all these were opportunities that were created by government. You forget the roads that you are using, the energy that you are consuming, the ICT that you are using. Some other African countries have not accessed ICT yet. Nawerabira. Kyoli kyokozesa nti byonna gavumenti ebikoledde. Omukutu gwoyogererako okuvuma. Nze mbeera ku mukutu ogwo n'olaba abantu nga bavuma ne yeerabira nti omukutu ogwo gwavaawa. Tegwava mu bire ne gugwa. Era government. Policy space and all these policies that enable you to do business successfully in your country. All these, you are beneficiaries of that. Agencies, URA, UDC, UNBS, Uganda Export Promotions Board, URSB, all these agencies are for you to be able to support you, support your businesses. Instead of crying, tetuyina sente, njagala kulaba mzeyi. You know, all these are the voices all the time. But you forget that the enablers are all around you. Opportunities zonna. Kati na kino ekyokufuuka city, nakyo kintu kinene, you are going to benefit from it. The ministries, all these ministries actually support entrepreneurship. When you talk about Ministry of Trade, when you talk about local government, you look at the market. Yesterday I was in the market. And what I saw there, the central market, I was amazed. And in Kampala, Kasita, you remember, they were making noise that they don't like those structures because they are too high, they are what? How? But I looked at this central market and saw how organized and how people are working. And they utilize all the space. In fact, I want to thank the chairman of the market who took me around. Mr. Muhumus Emmanuel, vibrant young man. He took me around. I toured Red Wine. Red Wine had issues, Revenue Authority. Red Wine are saying that they can't export because you are deducting a lot of taxes for export. But I didn't know that there were, maybe you need to explain to them. I don't think there is a tax on exports. I visited Elsmart, people who are making briquettes yesterday. And I was amazed. They're making briquettes from waste. From waste. And they're making stoves from scrap. In fact, I posted them on some of our people in Mawokota. And I said, you people, you are there crying of poverty. These people are making money. Sente ziva mu ggulu. You know, they always say such things. So there are also opportunities, markets. Someone was telling me that it's difficult to take things across to Kenya, of course we had some issues with Rwanda, but now it's okay, Bunagana. But we have one-stop border posts, whereby you can take things across. There is immigration, there is URA, there's all these bodies are there to support you. To support you to be able to export your goods.
So government created these markets for your goods. East Africa, you have a number of posts. Africa, COMESA, all these are markets for you. That means maybe you'll be able to talk about them. What are the financing opportunities in the country? The problem is that sometimes we do not know what our financing opportunities are. When you talk about banks, of course, their lending rates are so high. Maybe because of the CBR, but maybe because of the conditions also. But when you look at private sector foundation, I don't know whether they are represented here. They have a number of projects or programs that can support you to export, support women in business, support youth in business. Many will complain, but there is also an opportunity for them. Do you ever go out to look for these opportunities? Of course, UDB, most of you are complaining that it is difficult to access. But are you doing your paperwork right? You have trained, you have educated your children. Let them fill in these forms for you. Let them educate you about how to apply for these opportunities. In UDB, there is what they call Small and Medium Enterprise Business Acceleration Facility. It's a short-term working capital trade and contract financing facility. It is from 50 million to 720. The loan tenure is 1 year. The grace period is 3 months. There is another one, SME asset financing. This one, facility for acquisition of assets for production, is a loan tenure for 6 years, grace period for 2 years. So now all these Mbasita can help you to negotiate. We can support you also to help you, the ministry is there. But once you have a voice or an apex body, they will help you to link you to some of these programs that you are entitled to. There is Microfinance Support Center. They have agricultural loans, commercial loans of 17%. Of course, sometimes in writing, it's not as rosy as it sounds. When you go de facto, you find that the costs are different. And there's a grace period of 6 months. I've also been a beneficiary of this. So MSMEs have a number of projects, even under Ministry of Gender. These ministries have also got MSME programs, even finance. So the good thing is that now you have an organization that can support you and that can link you to some of these bodies. So what is my advice? Let me tell you about my experience. Because most people would say, what is she saying? She's not even in business. I've had people saying that. But when I was working in State House, my salary was not was not sufficient. So I started doing some businesses. Because when you see some of us, you think that we fell from heaven. Bagaga. Because I think everybody in an office, in a busy office, is corrupt. Of course, the corrupt ones are there. But I must admit, I'm very proud that I've held my name in dignity. And I'll go with it. And there'll be a big sign called integrity on my coffin. Because I have worked very hard to preserve that. So I started doing some small businesses. And what was I doing? Sewing uniforms. I had a company called Emi Garments. Very powerful. But I had a shop in Mango called Emi Garments. And I used to go to that hospital, Namirembe Hospital, and ask the nurses if they wanted me to make uniforms for them. And I would make uniforms. I would make uniforms for some police officers. I would make uniforms for a number of companies, security companies. And I would make money. But unfortunately, I got so busy in State House and I put some of my relatives there. And after some time, the business collapsed. So whom are you putting in your business? Relative? Because you can't do anything. Get a partner whom you know has also invested in that business. Because we were doing well. So I said, what do I do? I walked up to my father then, who had a company, Kulubian Company Advocates. Nemugamba sebo, ebintu biganya omusala mutono nnyo. He said, what are you doing there? You're so busy. Now you're coming to me to ask for money. He said, I don't want money. Give me a title. He gave me a title. I went to the bank, which used to be Stanbic. What was that? The name of the bank before? Not Greenlays. Commercial Bank. UCB. I walked in with that title and they gave me money and I bought a pickup. And I said, what do I do with this pickup? Then someone, people give you ideas. Subula walaji, ekasese, subula ebyenyanja. So I said, kansubula ebyenyanja. So the pickup would go to Kasese, ne baleeta ebyenyanja, n'atunda. Nze siriimu bampabuwi, ndi busy. Busy. State House from morning until night. Boss tamanyi nange ndi eri nkola sente. Ziyingira. Then in the evening, let's say after the driver goes for about 3 days, he comes back. Yakutolerako. Boss, your boss. So he says, this is how much I've made. And it was a lot of money. The reason why I'm saying that is that we do businesses which we do not fully participate in. You must be in your business. Kati yantolerangako. He would go. Remember, my pickup is depreciating. Remember, I don't know how much he's actually getting. I'm trying to show you that some of us try to do businesses, but we do not fully take track or record what we are earning or follow up. The mistakes then nakola nayiga. Nantolerako, eventually pickup was depreciating. But in the end I said, by the way, why don't I start breeding fish? Now I'm one of the best aquaculturists. I breed fish, people come and study, and I get money from those who come to study. I harvest every 8 months, and that is how I survived in my early retirement. Because I remember when I realized that my money was not coming in every month, akasimu kana akalaga omusala guze tokyali minister tokyali MP tokyali ki oli ku katebe ninga bannange obulamu nga butabuse storage kati tukole tutya kiki ekigenda mu maaso. That's when I realized that actually the fish, the 5 ponds I had were an asset. Nenda bantu obugagga mbulina. Then that is when I started taking an interest. I started fishing. Then I realized there was money. Nengamba, sente zange bulijjo ziragawa. Mwabasajja bulijjo munziba. Ate bulijjo oli busy, madam. So that is what I'm saying. So I survived those months. Sinafuna mulimu no. This teenager. By minister, Tawazi, good. Panag. Then something told me in my mind, ani yakugamba nti wali ogenda kubeera minister paka kufa. You have served this country for so many years. The president has so many challenges. So many factors to consider. And he has given you all these opportunities to serve. You know, could advisor. That will support my aquaculture. Now, aquaculture, there is money in fish. Because you can fish, harvest them, you can make 20 million, 30, depending on what you invested in. The ponds are there, depending on what you put on, depending on what you are feeding it. So, now I'm a senior aquaculturist in PG district. I also have eco lodges, cottages. These are businesses I've been building over time, but because you are so busy, you don't think about putting in or injecting in your time. Now I have in Sulu Haven, we have already started getting tourists. The other week we had about a group of 15 tourists staying with us. Some of them just want to stay in cottage. I have a few cottages, but some just want to stay in tents. And I'm making money because I have the time now to focus. URA, please put cotton in your ears. But I account. Every month. I'm already registered. I have a TIN number. So the reason why I'm bringing out these issues, njagala kubuulira gwe okola business naddala mu abakola mu office, this idea of doing remote businesses, you are losing. You're losing. Because this person will come with a list. This, and you buy. You give them money to buy, you're too busy. When do you have time to sit and evaluate your project? When? You are busy, you forget that salary one day will end. I've told you my story. That tutu was no longer coming. I even started selling bananas in my garden. So, you who is working and you have established that side business, that other person, your worker, is the one surviving on you. You remember the driver of my pickup? He actually died of AIDS because he had married so many women. He had become so rich. I discovered he had made so much money. He had married, but he never had time to build anything for himself. Eventually, he died. So it is, you are actually giving money to your workers. You are not earning anything. Evaluation is key. When do you have time to go there and evaluate your business? When do you do research for your business to know that if I'm in fish, should I get varieties? Should I start adding value to it? We never get time to do that. When do you plan properly for that business? When do you grow your clientele? Because now for me, I have an opportunity. Now I look for my clients. Those who want fish, they come and pick. They come with their trucks and pick. But before, it was this worker who was selling. He would bring in a truck at night, load, and sell. But now, I identify my clientele. There are people who want fresh fish in ponds. They come and buy and load, and you just call them. So there is a link between me. So another one is, how do you brand your products? You are also a brand. That is why you should be in your business. Because people would say, Eduka ya gundi. You are the brand. You forget that you're actually the brand of your business. But when they realize that Eduka lya mwami Mukasa. Musa Mukasa is always not there. Then they will abandon you. Then they will say, he's not even there. But you are the brand of that business. So find a way of branding your business. Another thing that we don't do, insurance. Banange, we don't insure. And we always have these challenges in our businesses. It catches fire. And then you say, everybody will say, sorry. But if you had insured your premises or your business, we don't insure our premises. We don't insure our businesses. We don't. Because people think it is expensive. Whatever you touch, you say it's expensive. I cannot manage that. But it is important. So whom are you dealing with? Which agencies are you dealing with? Or which companies are you dealing with? Let's say you have a bank. The bank might have a representative in your area, a representative bank in your area. Then you say, banka yange nze eri Kampala. Nzomanya bankolerako bulungi bali Kampala. But you forget that all these banks are technologically linked. Katwacho gende Kampala, mafuta goteekamu, everything. It's a cost. Nekubanga omukyalo oli omu banka y'egundi Stanbic ye Kampala ayogera bulungi gye njagala okugenda. No! Think about business. Money, the money you spend on the way ngokwata tax, okute motoka yo, amafuta. Because you are going to that particular bank, ngate in a branch one. Banang, let us start at least look at every activity and convert it into money. Everything you do. Don't just think about emotions. Ntukubanga gundi mukwano gwange, je nino gende Kampala. So, whatever you do, oyinza okubanga engoye ezo zigula Kampala z'otunda mu dduuka, or your products. But they have an agent here. Why don't you use that agent here? It is cheaper instead of driving all the way. Although people think it is cheaper here. Quality and standards is very important. What are you offering?
Smart 24, driving business.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Yes, my name is Saul Kusemera Balsima. I work as a general manager in Mpanga Gross Tea Factory. This factory came into existence in 1971 after an act of Parliament in 1969. It was one of the Uganda Tea Growers Corporation Company. So during the early mid-90s privatization, Mpanga happened to be one of the factories that was privatized, with its sister companies of Kayonza, Igara and Mbarara. At the beginning, we had 143 shareholders. That was in 1885, but the shareholding has grown to 1,139 currently. We approximately cover over 2,000 hectares of tea plantation in both districts of Kianjojo and Kabarore. However, last year around September, because of the tea challenges worldwide and other governance challenges, we interested the government to come and take some few shares in the company. So the government did so through its investment arm of Uganda Development Corporation, where they bought shares worth 4.34 billion in the company. Specifically, this was one, to cool off the pressure from our creditors. At the same time, the company production capacity had dropped to around 20%. In order to pull it up, it was thought that the best way to handle the challenge at hand at that time was not to get funding from a commercial bank, because it would have increased on obligation in regard to the interest. So through a number of interactions, we concluded that the Uganda Development Corporation invests that amount of money into the factory. So the coming of Uganda Development Corporation, one, has improved on the governance because of the diversity on the board. We're supposed to have reviewed the systems, which we are currently doing. Then we come up with a strategic plan for the next 5 years with specific area of focus on quality, quantity, efficiency, market and institutional development. And that is the trajectory the company is taking. So when I was talking about 20%, that 10 to 20% before UDC joining, we were looking at the factory getting around 5,000 to 10,000 kilograms per day. But since the intervention, during the peak season, the factory goes up to around 50 to 60,000 per day, which is ideal for the business to break through. So in the last 1 year, we have moved together with UDC. We have realized that continuously getting money from the commercial bank and continuously paying those loans at a high interest rate of 18-22% was unsustainable. So we opted to go for a shareholders loan, and the UDC has given the company 6.35 billion as a shareholders loan to tackle again some of those pressing creditors. So as we talk now, most of the pressing creditors have been settled, and it's for the first time in 4 years that the factory has started applying fertilizer on its own estate. The factory is back to production now, moved to around 70 to 80%. We hope by mid-December, by mid-October, we should be moving to around 80 to 100%, which is a very big positive trajectory. Economically, ideally this factory is supposed to bring in $3 to $4 million per year, but we had dropped to around $1 million. It is estimated over 20,000 people directly or indirectly benefit from the existence of this company. The farmers, us, the employees, the suppliers of firewood, the suppliers of produce, the transporters, people who supply protectives. So it's approximately around 20,000 people who benefit from this company. Of course, as Uganda comes to celebrate the 6 years of independence, we have been part of the Ugandan journey. If we say since 1995, when the company was privatized, we have been bringing in $2 to $3 million every year. That means we have been a very big partner to the independence of individuals in the tea sector.
Smart 24, driving business.
The senior presidential advisor and the senior cadre for the system. Yes, very senior cadre for the system. By the way, we are lucky that today we are hosting the originals of the system. Our guest speaker, who has really moved everybody. When you leave this place and remain poor, don't blame God, blame yourself. I worship the mayor
and your fellow political leaders, the city clerk, and your technical people, our bosses, the business community. Honorable Minister, I'm the RCC, who is a servant here, but also a very small farmer who is not poor. Yes, I'm a very small farmer who is not poor, and that's why we have kept Mbarara safe. You know, poor people disturb people's minds. Yes, it's very bad to be poor, and I've never been proud of being poor. I want to thank our guest speakers for the education that they have given us. You see, at times we do things far. And Honourable Minister, I also want to thank this government and the President for creating a very good environment for everybody to come out of poverty. And you choose poverty for yourself. And I want to thank this government that money goes to whoever works very hard, not to those that support it. We have Mr. Katembeya here. Katembeya, I want to introduce you. We have Mr. Katembeya here. He's the richest man in this town. Both in business and farming, though he has not seen more light. On the other side of the Honorable Chamber days. But he assured me he's about to come. I've been given a very simple job of inviting our minister, but before I invite the minister, I want to thank all the security operatives who are here and who are not here in Mbarara City. You cannot do business. You cannot do farming. You cannot become rich when you don't have security. I want to thank you so much for really giving security to the people of Mbarara. I was hearing what was happening and what has been happening in other areas, even during these Christmas days and other big days. Mbarara people stayed very safe. And that's why the businesses are booming. Honourable Minister, can you come and talk to your people?
Thank you so much, the RCC and my mentor. We've been together in the struggle, though I found you there. We served together in Kasese when you were my boss, and I was a cadre in your office. Thank you for keeping the spirit and the fire burning. My role model, who is the former minister or the Minister Emeritus for Trade, Industry and Cooperative, and now the Senior Presidential Advisor on Industry and Trade, and somebody who has really given us light on which to follow. The private sector, Kasita and Imbasita, who are here today, our district leadership and the city leadership who are here, led by the mayor and your council, the technical teams who are here, the agencies and my constituency, the business community, the media, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank God for this special opportunity that He has offered to me to be the guest for this historical event of the opening of the city, mighty city of Mbarara. And I want to thank God that today was a day meant for Mzee Mwebesa, who is my senior minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperative. But because of the urgent call that he got, he delegated a very vibrant young girl, Harriet Ntavas, who is the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperative, but overseeing trade of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a very loaded background like the one of the presidential advisor, that heavy one. I have a lighter, micro, small, and I would call it medium background, which I've undergone. I'm a young girl, I would call myself, because they are elders here, from Bundibujo district. And I went to school. So after my graduation at Makerere, instead of getting a job, I got pregnant. Yes. I got pregnant and I said, now let me sit. Now, that's when my business concept started. Sit and do what? I've studied from Makerere, but I'm just here. So what I did, I started as a micro trader on a stall. In local language, we call it omudara, of tomatoes, oranges, cabbages, onions, rice, and those little things. I started with a capital of 300,000. Yes. And I made sure that I should not lack food. That was my basic concept. Because if I started with something else, I would be sleeping hungry. So I started with the food because I needed what? Food. Now, in the process of doing business, I saw my best customers were those ones with the hotels, those ones who are doing parties, going for catering and all that. I said, oh my God, don't I know how to cook? I should have a catering service. I used my food to start a catering service. I won one tender for my friend's introduction ceremony. The money he gave me was the real capital to buy saucepans, to buy plates, to buy those ladles and other things to use. Others I borrowed. So, I started as small as that. On the very party, I saw people had decorated. I had the brain. I said, just tying a ribbon here and putting these linings, which are sold in Chiembe, I must decorate. The next tender was to get a catering food and then decoration. Now money started flowing into my pocket. I became rich through a process. I'm telling you. I was never known by government. Nobody knew me. I made myself what I am. So, I started on decorating, cooking, and I had one thing in my course at Makerere. I did communication skills. So I knew how to handle my clients and my customers. And that one gave me political capital. From there, I went and contested because I had brides who had eaten my food and people who had celebrated with me, and I bought gowns here in Kampala, decorated them, others for free, others for what? I became a celebrity and ended up in the parliament. Yes, that's how I went to parliament, because of the popularity I gained from my business. My first time to handle huge money was in the Parliament of Uganda. So, this is a testimony I wanted to give you, that you don't have to start from a rich background to become rich. You don't have to become prominent, from that known, to become what you are. I'm now a minister of the Republic of Uganda. Praise God. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Am I speaking to somebody? Yes. Because everybody knows that to be an investor, to be a prominent business person, to be this and that, to have property, to accumulate this and that, you have to start from either you inherit your father's property, or you do what, or you do what. No. My father was a headmaster. And he even died before I got money. So, he did not enjoy my money. He died when I was still at the university. So I'm giving you a testimony for you to know that whatever you are doing, just use your what? Your brain very well. Your mind has to have a vision. You have to be sharp. Now, on this special day, after you people knowing me, I appear before you as a guest to officiate on a special opening, because this is opening of a huge road that you are going to go through to compete with other cities in Africa, to compete with other cities in the world. Mbarara is one of the cities, out of the 10 cities which were made, which is growing at a very rapid speed. And I want to assure you, with the markets that you are having nearby, the DRC, with a population of more than 300 million people, with the Rwanda, with our friends in Tanzania, with Burundi, Mbarara city is going to grow more faster than any other city, including Kampala. And the better part of it, it has started with a population which is, first of all, almost, because they gave us the percentages here, 53% employed, benefiting from employment. Now, add on some little percentage, you will find yourselves 80% with jobs. Others self-made, others self-employed, others government. So, I'm expecting a vibrant, shining city within the period of less than 5 years. That's my dream. That's what I'm looking at. Now, this population that you've mentioned here, because in cities, we need people. But we need meaningful people in a city. We don't just need people for for the sake of having a huge number. You either have to have, for you to be comfortable in a city, you must have either a service that you are providing or you have a product. You have a service that you're giving out or you have a product that you're giving out for you to receive cash from the city. So why we are challenging other cities is that in Mbarara we have services we are giving out to people. That is employment, that are hotels, there's others, things, services, saloons, what you can talk about. And then we have products that we are giving out, both nationally and internationally, regionally. Mbarara is supplying milk everywhere you go. We are now thinking about huge value addition on top of the 6 companies, factories which we have in Mbarara city for milk. We are looking at adding more value. You heard what our neighbor said, the president of Kenya, said we can no longer go on blocking Uganda's milk because we can utilize it to add value. Sorry. This microphone was fearing me because I'm a public speaker anyway. So, the value addition that we are looking at is far beyond what we are doing now. We should plan ahead of this because that's what we are copying from our neighbors. Get the milk from Uganda, stock it, add more value, and we export it, re-export it. So they have already seen an opportunity for a raw material coming from Uganda. So I'm praying that as we embrace this city, it's now 2 years from 1st of July 2020. By the time we come to 5 years, 6 years, the dreams must have gone from this stage to another stage. And I know that the brains are here. Of course, this Mbarara city has features that other people admire. They call you rich people. Yes. Abanyankore n'abagiga. Nkuba kugamba bati. So for somebody to come here, a vendor to come here, it's very difficult. Nibamanya n'abachi n'abagiga. They're rich. They don't buy these local things. So that one gives us a real status of a city because we shall open up other suburbs and develop them where these vendors will do what? Will fit. A city is supposed to be a clean place. And in Mbarara, you are clean. Mbarara is a neat town, a clean city, which is admired, and green. Clean and green. So we want to maintain that approach so that our city gets a name. Because now we are looking at the name of the city. Others are tourism cities, others are trade cities. What are you? We can be a green city. We can be a green city and we maintain it. That one will make our trademark. Green city. And when somebody enters, really sees what? A green city, like Singapore. Singapore has no land, but it is green. Everywhere you find trees right from the airport. So you can do something about it. And you name your city a green city, environmentally friendly. Issues to do with the garbage, I think naturally, Mbarara knows how to utilize the products of their food remains. For example, from bananas, you can get the peelings can be feed for what? For animals. From potatoes and other things, you can feed other things. So there is nothing that remains unutilized in Mbarara like we do in Kampala. The good thing, there is still land. And the president, through the Minister of Local Government, has instructed, and I've received the instruction, that the Minister of Local Government should cause a dialogue in March between the leaders of Mbarara City and the Mbarara District to make sure that we demarcate the land of the city to know what is required of the city, where is this supposed to be, and make strategic master plan for this city. I've just received the instruction here while seated. So, the mayor, the town, the city clerk, and the teams, please prepare for that. Let's not construct anyhow. Let's not throw garbage anyhow. I know we shall maintain this, and the president will be very happy. The city, you have made proper organization of your taxis and buses. At least they have where to park. I think you need to open more parks, bus parks, the taxi parks. Then you design your border borders. Give them uniforms. Give them a sense of responsibility because they know how to maneuver and look for their own ways of doing things. So before they did that, please put a plan and make sure that the city remains very organized and smart. So Uganda has, now in Kampala we have started organizing, though a little bit late, but we are trying. The government has put in place Kira Motors and has put buses which have started moving in the city, very clean. We cannot say from today onwards, stop coming to the city center. No, it is a process. But for you, you can utilize that chance because you are still a virgin city with good policies. And I thank you for the city bylaws that you put in place, because they are the city bylaws that clean the city. They are the city bylaws that make the city what you want it to be. I passed here at around 6:37. I found that the shops were almost closed. Yes, the shops closed, I don't know, by 6, the shops have closed. People have gone home. They have their cows, they have their things to take care of. They have things to do. A shop is nothing to them. If you cannot buy by 6, go home and sleep and come back early and what? In the morning, you will find business. I wanted a hanky. I had come and I'd forgotten something. But the town was closed. I had to improvise. I said, this is a real city. Jesus Christ. Mbarara, I found this in Ankara when I was in Turkey, now Turkey, that has gotten these challenges. For them, by 5:30, you have to pack and do it and go away. If you have not done your shopping, go to Istanbul, where they trade day and night. So, there are unique features features and characters of this city that are copying from somewhere else, not from where Mr. Kasumba, Pastor Kasumba is coming from. Now, my call today and our message today is more on economics. The economics, most of it has been explained. I don't have to labor with it. You had the flow of material from those ones, from the two brains that came here to present. They shared with us widely. Now, government's intervention is the one we are looking at. You have the products, you have tried your level.
Smart 24, driving business.
The taste of Uganda in a new international park.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292 hash. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest. Smart 24, driving business.
In these markets, we are constructing markets, one-stop centers, to make sure that you no longer move from one point to the other as you take your products out of the country. Recently, we saw the president in Impondwe opening the market. We are trying to work on Bunagana, but that one is still I'm sorry, these are people whom they bring to disturb us all the time. Really. But I have to listen to her. So, we are putting these markets in place, one-stop centers, so that you find URA here, you find immigration here, you find UNBS here, in one place. We should stop lamentation. Should start acting. If there is a hurdle, come to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperative, which is your mother what? Mother ministry. Right. You don't have to go to the streets and demonstrate. Kampala City now is a sort of demonstrations, I can say. Because they know where to go. They know if this challenge comes, it is Minister of Finance. But we have a voice, which is Minister of Trade. Me, I didn't know that I was the leader almost of opposition to some of the ministries. For Minister of Finance, I sometimes become a leader of opposition when there is a high tax on traders. I have to go and negotiate, I have to go and do this, and we harmonize, and the tax is cooled down. For the Minister of Health, There is a lockdown. They want to lock here. I have to go and negotiate. Please don't lock. Let's do this. Let's struggle here because of the trade. The economy will fall. For the Ministry of Agriculture, I have to struggle to make sure the products that they are taking to the market are of the quality and good, well harvested and properly stored. That is the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. For the Ministry of Education, the private schools, I have to negotiate for them because they are traders. I am almost the leader of opposition in the cabinet because I have a voice from Kasita, from Mbasita, from the local traders. They are demanding this, they are demanding that. So we need to develop negotiation skills through trainings. We have URI, which can give you trainings. It is a matter of organizing yourself. The city, you have to organize yourself, the mayor, the RDC is there, RCC, you have to organize yourselves. We bring you technical people to train you on how to handle certain matters, to train you on how to access markets, to train you competitiveness. Because now, the products that we are taking outside are not only produced here. There are other people who have them in other countries. We are targeting COMESA. We are targeting African Continental Free Trade Area, which out of now 55 countries, we have 54 on board. And we are struggling to become the Secretary General. So we cannot be the Secretary General when we don't have quality of the products which can compete on the market with other areas. So where do we rely on? On the cities which we have. We cannot rely on villages, because villages will bring products unprocessed and they're processed in cities, and we take a finished product. So what you brand your city will be what you're taking out of the country, and you should be known for that. I know people are already exhausted, but I want to tell you that we should develop a positive attitude to taxation. The taxes that we are giving, more especially, I'm calling upon the traders. You need good roads. You need good markets. The Minister of Local Government today told me to thank you, thank the leaders, to thank the traders for accepting to enter the market that the government put for you, Mbarara Central Market. You have entered the market and people are doing business comfortably. And I want to thank the leaders for handling the compensation and, taking the vendors in peace. There are vendors who refuse, say we cannot enter the markets. There are markets which are constructed and are white elephants, but you've utilized the market. These markets are constructed from your taxes that you pay. So payment of tax is not a punishment. It is something that will boost the trade environment, that will boost the trade ease of doing business, the roads, the what, and all that. So I want to really thank you so much, and I know there is a lot that government will do. You heard our seniors say, government has done a lot, that has tried. For the micro, small, and medium enterprises who were hit by COVID-19, there was a provision of a recovery fund. 100 million from government and 100 million from, 100 billion from government and 100 billion from commercial banks. Now this money needs when you are organized. There are business people who dream of keeping money under the bed. than putting it in the bank. They say when you put it in the bank, it will, I think, be deducted on what? There is that attitude bankruptcy that I would talk about. Because once you put your money in the bank, know that you are adding to the economy. And by accessing a bank, either accessing this money, you have to be in a bank. You cannot have a business privately and do what? Keep your money under the bed, dig a hole, put it there, go to the garden, get a pot, or jizike, and you think you'll access government money. So, we need to support government for government to support us. Open accounts for your businesses. Segregate. Divide the money for domestic use aside, money for business aside. And that is the money we want in the bank. So I'm calling upon you people to go and access this money, put proper use on it. Almost over 80% of this money is redundant in UDB, unutilized. And now the large scale traders are the ones trying to convince government to pick it. Yet it was meant for micro, small, and medium enterprises. A micro business, you know it, with a capital of 10 million and employment of 5 people. A small business with a capital of 50 million and an employment of 50 people, or more than 10 people. A medium with an employment of 100 people and a capital of 350 million. So, if you lie within that range, please pick this money, go and improve on your businesses. The government has put in money, capitation in UDC to support those small-scale industries which are coming up, even large-scale, by the way. Put in money. And this money is targeting natives, Ugandan natives. We want you to become investors. The Basit I was talking about, where are the Indian and the Wazungu investors here? You don't have to have color to be an investor. If you want to make money, don't wait for the Indians. You can partner with them, then you come and get into it. Yours is to get their knowledge. Pick it, come and put it in Mbarara City. What the brains they have is what you have. So, I'm calling upon those investors, upcoming strong investors who are here. One of the investors is my senior minister. He told me he has a factory here. And when I came, I visited it. I found nails being produced here. I found, steel materials, those electricity poles, and all those things. So, he doesn't have to be a white person, or an Indian, or a German, to make money. So, me, I'm calling upon Ugandans. Others are asking to be Ugandans because they know when you are Ugandan, you can access the same incentives like those ones who are coming from out. The Minister of Investment has given his incentives to investors. It depends on what you are investing in and how much money you've come to invest. So a chapati trader cannot be get the same incentives like somebody who is adding value on the milk, with the factor of the milk. So it depends on how much money you are putting in investment that the incentives will be given. And the tax holidays we give to everybody. But you have to showcase that you really can utilize the tax holiday. You have to have a number of employment, a certain number of employment. You have to have a certain number of qualities of the product you want to produce. All those are factors that have to be considered when you are hitting the market. So, I'm calling upon Mbasita, my favorite Mbasiti, to start to convince our traders to improve. If you have been producing 5 liters of wine, improve and go to other liters. Improve like that and employ people. Even if you employ your children, we don't care so long as they are people, Ugandans. You can employ your wife, your grandchildren, the manager is your girlfriend, we don't care. Put them there. Make sure they make money from what you are investing. And for us, we shall give you the tax holiday. So, I'm advocating for you everywhere I go. And now I'm going to be part of your members. I know you have a team, a very strong legislation team, members of parliament, including ministers, including my friend, the woman member of parliament. All these ones, I'm going to add my voice to make sure our city shines and goes to another level. Now, as I conclude my remarks, we are putting in place, because now we are no longer thinking Uganda. We are now, though we have buy Uganda, build Uganda, we are thinking regionally as East Africa, negotiating. We have even gone ahead to negotiate as Africa to make sure that we are having one standard of products. And East Africa has already embraced one standard to the fact that when a product is certified in Uganda, it can no longer be certified, subjected to conformity in Rwanda. We are almost talking one language in terms of negotiating standard. And this one was is facilitated by European Union. We have been trained and we are coming down to start training you people. So we want to open regional UNBS offices in Mbarara. Regional. Leave alone just throwing in staff to be there, but a real hub, a zonal office that will be as strong as that one of Kampala, to take those strong on the products, because we know this city is one of the best cities in terms of production of things that we want to take out of the country. So, my message today, and the message from my senior minister, is for us to start thinking big, move from the little innovations we've been doing, innovate higher, and innovate bigger, and think of other people who are doing the same products that we are doing, and think of competitiveness and how to access and hit the market. So, I'm happy that all the rest of the details have been aforementioned. The message that we have today is that, I know you have 6 other markets that, I don't know whether 6, you have other markets that form Mbarara city. You're not like Kampala, which has 28 markets scattered. You have 8 markets, including, but not limited to, the list that was given to me by the mayor, Nyamutiobora, Kakoba, there was Kakoba, there was Namutiobora, there's another one in English. Makan what? Yes, it ends with like an English word. This is why I told you the standards have gone high. Really. That market, those markets, they are going to be constructed under satellite arrangement. Satellite arrangement. We are no longer now talking about trade of trade of proximity, I would say. We are now talking e-commerce. everything. Like you have e-governance, e-what? We are now going e-trade, e-commerce, e-economics, e-everything. Even if I'm here, my products will reach Geneva. Even if there is somebody whom I've never seen, will be my customer, will be my client, even when we have never met. So these are things that we are putting in place for us to move at the same level with other people. And I wanted to tell you that to reduce on the number of vendors, so we need to move. And this one, because in other areas, like for example, in Dubai, the market is somewhere and it is known where it is. Other areas, Sarija and other cities, are for wholesale. Wholesale. And they keep clean. When you're coming, you are coming to pick things in bulk. Take to the suburbs and take to other areas. So you must have that a style to say, this is where wholesale is. This is where you'll find the vending. This is where you'll find the what. And you would have set a precedence that is not anywhere in the country. So I want to thank you. The purpose of this engagement today is to sell and market Mbarara City for investment, for trade, for networking, for coordination, and making sure that Mbarara as a city, which is both, doesn't work for Chita Chonka, like the notion is, which is working for both commercial and subsistence, which is a city with a vision, which is a city so-called rich people, though they are rich anyway, rich people, brains, educated people. We were challenged here. It may not be in Mbarara that educated people are poor. No, that one doesn't exist in Mbarara. These people are both educated and rich. So they combine the two. It's not like Kampala where rich people are uneducated and the poor people are what? Are educated. You will find the mayor, the city, the RCC. I asked the RCC, I said, Oinente Zingai, Omufamu Yao. We met here and I said, we had come for a training on how to milk and all that. Namubuza, Oinente Zingai. Yajirangu mwana wanje. Ente kabataku amatungo tubakukola chi? Tubakugabala. They are like women. You cannot count the number of women that you do, that you have. No. Then you are not a man. You cannot count the number of children. 1, 2, 3 children. No. There is one friend of mine, very educated, was a commercial officer, very friendly and educated and rich. Baso we are feel. Baso mama tungoge. Yabaine amajubegati amatungo what? Eh yabaine nabana.
Akazara. Abana binga mwana omwe. Everybody packed and went away. How can you have one child? How? At least 2. You are a coward for sure. You are a coward. For a man to stand, you have to have at least 2, 3, 4. Yes. So that when the other one is not there, there is another one. The other one is not there, there is another one. So, ara sisi akanyejisha chintu yagira amatungo tubakora ki tubakugabara. So you have to have as many cows as possible, and he's educated. So the point I'm making, don't think that because you're educated you are subjected to poverty. No. That salary you are making must be put to use. If you get rich people
don't just spend. They multiply their income into both expenditure and more income. So I have no really much to add on. I know you have the myoga, which you are putting into proper use. And I know you have embraced parish development model, which is targeting the remaining part of the poverty, the poor people. Recently, when we were at the celebration here, I came myself. I heard what the president said, the 39%. In fact, in Mbarara, it is not 39. It has even gone, lower. In Mbarara city, city is 10. The poor people are 10% in the city. You are a role model. You are a studied. People should come here for studies and see how you have done it, so that we can also emulate what the city is doing. So I want to thank you so much, and I want to say this is the beginning. The celebrations have started. You are going to enjoy. I wanted to join the city what? The city rallies and those enjoyments in the nightclubs that they talked about. I used to come for Vision Empire here. I'm not a joking matter also. I used to dance here, seriously. We come for workshops. I was a district woman councillor. I've gone through all the ladders of leadership. I was a national youth delegate. I was a youth councillor in the council. Then I became a woman councillor. Then I went to the member of parliament. So I've been dancing here. There was a hotel called Pelican. I don't know whether it still existed. It was just adjacent, opposite to the what? Vision. So we would just go and shake there because we had peers. But now I cannot go. I don't have any peer unless the RCC went and Kasita, Mbasita is young. So my age denies me to access such areas again. But I really want to thank you that you are going to shine, and I know Uganda is proud of you. Uganda is going to be proud of whatever issues you're doing. Greetings from the honorable members of parliament. Greetings from the Honorable Majesi, the Minister for Local Government, who is thanking you for the cooperation. Obugalova Majesi Buliwa. Yes. And he's saying that those markets will be constructed under satellite. The Mashamington something market, Revikona, Rugazi, and all those ones. They are 6 in number. And the issue of the airstrip.
Smart 24, driving business.
The taste of Uganda in a new international park.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest. Smart 24, driving business.
When we come back from lunch, or should I say, habwanyuma lunch, URA, you come with your questions, they are here to answer them. The good thing is they will become very victorious over that experience since the head is Msinguzi. Now, if the head of your organization is Msinguzi and they ask you questions and you fail, then there is a problem, a big one. A big what? A big what? So URA will be answering questions. URSB, that is the Uganda Registration Services Bureau, will also be answering questions.
Smart 24, driving business.
Nga bwe tumanyi obulungi amaliba gakolebwamu ebintu ebyenjawulo so nga amaliba gano olumu gava ku bisolo ng'ente, embuzi